What's up guys, it's Meaty Mike. My name's Mike and I love meat. Fire up your smokers because today we are cooking some Rocky Mountain oysters. Let's do it. Rocky Mountain oysters, cowboy oysters, prairie oysters, fries, testicles, balls. We have balls. They're balls. We have a fresh, plump pair of bull testicles. If you're asking yourself, Mike, why do you gotta smoke nads? Well, my answer is very simple. Just like any other meat that I make videos on, they're delicious. I had my first taste of Rocky Mountain oysters about 5 years ago. It's a memory clear as day. I used to live up in the Pacific Northwest and I was taking a road trip through Montana. Right off the thruway, a big sign, Testicle Festival. And the date, it was like a sign from up above, was that date. And you bet you're behind that I pulled off and stopped at that Testicle Festival. Good people, good times, good balls. And they were delicious, and I haven't had them since. It's been a while. Now, when you normally eat Rocky Mountain oysters, and at the festival as well, they were fried, and that's the normal way to eat them. But I saw these pair of bull fries, I thought to myself, I wanna put these in the smoker, then we can fry them. So I did brine these testicles for about 2 days in a mixture of salt, water, and brown sugar. This will just help mellow out that flavor a little bit when we put them in the smoker. These balls are very squishy, ball-like, I don't know, however you want to explain them, but they have this outer membrane that we need to get off. You might purchase them and they'll have another membrane at the end, but those have already been removed. But we got to get this membrane off and expose the inner testicle meat. So to do that, we're gonna head over to the stove. So get a pot of water on the stove, you're gonna heat it up. Once it starts simmering, you can turn off the heat, then put your balls into the water. You're only gonna wanna let them sit in there for about 10 or 15 minutes. The point is to let them cook just a little bit so it's a little easier to get this membrane off. After about 10 or 15 minutes, rinse them off, pat them dry, let them get to room temperature, and here we are. As you can see, one of the balls kept its nice egg shape, the other one started to expand a little bit, and that's your cue to take them off the stove. If it's too hot or if you let them go too long, they will explode, and that hurts. Now we need to cut the membrane off of your balls. This is very tricky. It is going to take patience. You need a very, very sharp knife to do this. A paring knife will do the trick. And lo and behold, I don't have a paring knife, but I do have a sharp pocket knife. That's just what I have. That's what I'm using. There's no rules here. So what you're gonna wanna do is get into the crevice of the membrane on these testicles. Ideally, you'll be going in there and they will peel back. And look, it might not be perfect. You might pull a little bit of meat off with the membrane, but that's okay, man. We're still gonna have some great tasting Rocky Mountain oysters regardless. So let's try it out and see what we can do. So get down right along this crevice and you can get your knife under it a little bit and see if we can pull it back just like that. Now, you can see right here, we're starting to get under that membrane where we can start to pull away. Woo! That is a task and a half. Again, don't try to be perfect. I'm really happy with how this one came out. All of that meat exposed. There's a couple little filmy spots. That's okay. Again, it's not gonna be perfect, especially when I'm using a pocket knife. You can probably do better. Be patient. The other one, I did kind of butcher up a little bit, but that's all right. Again, it kept this great shape. Overall, not too shabby. I'm gonna chop that one up and fry it anyway. And that's all there is to it. I'm not putting any rubs, nothing on these testicles because I want the full flavor of balls in my mouth. From here, I'm putting these balls on a grill rack. I'm gonna pop them in the fridge for 1 or 2 hours, let them firm up a little bit, then we'll go pop them in the smoker. All right, so our balls have been sitting in the fridge and firming up for about 2 hours. Let's go pop them on the smoker. All right, so we have our smoker set at 225 degrees. We're using some mesquite wood for this whole smoke. Since we're not using any spices and I don't have anything on the balls to get that flavor, I want some bold smoke flavor coming through. So we're rolling with mesquite. This is really easy, y'all. We're just leaving them right in there for an hour and a half. No internal temps, because I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what the internal temps of balls should be. So after an hour and a half, we will pull these out of the smoker and then we'll eat. And after an hour and a half, our Rocky Mountain Oysters, our balls, are finished. I tinted them in foil for about 10 or 15 minutes after we pulled them out. They have some nice color from that smoke. We're gonna start slicing away at one of our testicles. Very nice color inside. You'll know, again, we didn't go to an internal temp, but that color inside, you know they're finished. Very nice, beautiful color inside. Grab yourself a piece and take a taste. Oh man, those are nuts. I cracked myself up. Really. Those are really good. The salt and the sugar added a good element to that brine. They do have a great smoky flavor from that mesquite wood. Seriously, this is really good. These are some good balls. Get yourself a piece of mozzarella cheese. Best balls I've ever had. It's a little porky, it's a little gamey, has that beefy flavor to them. These are really good. You can eat these as is with the cheese. Put them on a sandwich. Put them in your kid's lunch. Send him to school with it the next day. Then when he gets to lunch, his friend can be like, "Hey Billy, what do you have for lunch today?" "Oh, it's a testicle sandwich." Then the kid starts crying. He tells the lunch lady. The lunch lady tells the principal. The principal calls Billy to the office and suspends him for 3 days. You get a phone call at work. "Excuse me, why are you putting testicle sandwiches in your kid's lunch?" You say, "Have you ever tried a testicle sandwich?" The principal says, "No, I've never tried a testicle sandwich. That's disgusting." You say, "Well, you should." Against her better judgment, the principal tries the sandwich. She loves it. Billy's no longer suspended. His little friend gets detention because no one likes a tattletale. And the next thing you know, there's testicle ball sandwiches on the menu at the school cafeteria for lunch at your kid's school. It is a win-win scenario. But from here, these balls really do hold their juice after smoking. So from here, you can make the traditional fried Rocky Mountain oysters. So put these to the side. Get your other ball, slice it up. So we have a cup of flour, and here we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of garlic. Then we have 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper and 1 tablespoon of coarse black pepper. You can mix up your batter. Then you get your beaten egg. Dip your Rocky Mountain oysters in your egg. Dip it in the batter. Put her on the plate. Repeat. Nice and easy. Just like that. Now you got your plate of battered Rocky Mountain oysters. We can take them to the stove. Get your oil nice and hot. Toss in your Rocky Mountain oysters. You only need to throw them in for a few minutes on each side and get them nice and crispy. And when you take your Rocky Mountain oysters off of the stove, you have a great, crispy, crunchy, fried Rocky Mountain oyster. These are even better when they're smoked before they're fried. It adds a whole new element to Rocky Mountain oysters, and these are amazing. And that's what brings me back to Montana's Testicle Festival 5 years ago, man. Some crispy, tasty, juicy bull testicles. I'm having my own testicle festival right here in my kitchen. Come bring your balls, come bring your beers. We'll slice them thin, we'll eat them with cheese, we'll fry them up. Man, it is a tasty snack. If you were curious before, or if you're curious now, highly recommend you try some smoked Rocky Mountain oysters. You're gonna love them. Stay tuned for the next video.